And welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on this Wednesday, August 21st. I'm the host for today's program, Paul Demain, and many of the stories we read here can also be found in our publication, News from Indian Country, or online at IndianCountryNews.com. And here are some of the news stories for the day. Members of a tribe that has long lived in voluntary isolation in Peru's southeastern Amazon attempted to make contact with outsiders for a second time since 2011, leading to a tense standoff at a river hamlet recently. This is in addition to the appearance of an isolated tribe in Brazil recently as well. Authorities are unsure what provoked the three-day encounter, but say the Mascho-Piro may be upset by illegal logging in their territory as well as drug smugglers who pass through. Oil and gas exploration also affects the region. The more than 100 members of the Mascho-Piro clan appeared across the Las Piedras River from the remote community of Monte Salvado in the Tambopata region during June, according to Klaus Quishque, president of the regional Fenamad Indigenous Federation. They asked for bananas, rope, and machetes from the local Yane people, but were dissuaded from crossing the river by rangers posted at the settlement. The video shows Mascho-Piro of all ages and sexes, including men with lances, bows, and arrows. In one image, shot during a moment of tension, a man flexes his bow, ready to shoot. Peruvian law prohibits physical contact with the estimated 15 uncontacted tribes in Peru that together are estimated to number between 12 and 15,000 people living in jungles east of the Andes. The Navajo Nation and their rangers have rounded up numerous horses on the reservation under an operation conducted as part of the tribe's response to the continuing drought. A natural resources law enforcement official says at least 248 horses were seized through last week. The horses seized are said to be either feral or belong to residents who lack grazing permits or have more horses than their permits allow. Grazing official Wilbur Murphy said horses unclaimed by residents will be sold to a buyer either for resale off the reservation or for transport to Mexico for slaughter for meat. The Navajo Nation has voiced support for a plan by a Roswell company, Valley Meat Company, to begin slaughtering horses for meat in the region as well. A spokesman for the Navajo President Ben Shelley has said the reservation can no longer support the estimated 75,000 feral horses that are drinking wells dry and causing ecological damage to the drought-stricken range. An attorney representing a Blackfeet tribal leader accused of fleeing an officer during a drunken driving stop has asked a judge to dismiss the charges. Federal prosecutors have charged Blackfeet Tribal Business Council member and state senator Shannon Augare with misdemeanor counts of DUI, reckless driving, and obstruction of a peace officer. Tribal attorney Joe McKay says in the motion to dismiss that the federal court lacks the jurisdiction to hear the case. The tribe has its own law and order code that includes regulations for criminal conduct and traffic control. McKay says the federal government's decision to prosecute Augare for victimless misdemeanor offenses on the reservation is an invasion of tribal sovereignty and could undermine the Blackfeet's authority. U.S. Magistrate Judge Keith Strong did not make an immediate ruling. A farmer's market on the White Earth Ojibwe Reservation in northwestern Minnesota is seeking to be an oasis in a food desert. The Ojibwe Reservation only has 2 or 3 grocery stores on its more than 1,000 square miles. Its more common convenience stores are stocked mostly with processed foods, often high in salt, fat, and sugar. And that's a recipe for diabetes, which afflicts 30% of the reservation's residents, according to the tribe's figures, according to the Forum of Fargo, North Dakota. But every Thursday during the summer, growers and canners gather in Manoomin to sell fresh fruits and vegetables, as well as items like low or no sugar jellies. It was established 4 years ago by the tribe's Diabetes Project to provide access to healthy food. I come here when I have the money, said Thelma Coleman, who lives 21 miles away in the village of Netewash. It's the best place for fresh stuff. Coleman, who bought fresh corn and tomatoes last week, said her mother always had a garden when she was growing up, and processed foods were much less common than they are today. The Wyandot Nation of Oklahoma is opening a Sonic drive-in in Missouri in hopes of diversifying their economic ventures. This is the first time the Oklahoma City-based Sonic Corporation has reached a development deal with a tribe. The tribe says the expected completion date for the restaurant is in October. It will be located in Seneca, about 10 miles from the tribe's headquarters in northeastern Oklahoma. Kelly Carpino is the CEO of Wyandot Tribe of Oklahoma, the Wyandot Nation's chartered corporation. She says the restaurant brings something that is needed to the area and will boost the local economy. Carpino says the Sonic will have a layout with 21 stalls and a drive-thru, creating 30 to 35 full-time and part-time jobs. Vandals struck the Rapid City campus of United Tribes Technical College over the weekend, 3 days after the Bismarck, North Dakota-based school held a grand opening celebration for its Black Hills Learning Center. The Vandals targeted doors and windows last weekend and caused as much as $75,000 in damage, according to the property owner. Police were investigating but did not immediately identify any subjects. A $5,000 reward is being offered for information that leads to an arrest. The school is housed in the former National American University building. Officials with United Tribes Technical College, which is run by the 5 tribes in North Dakota. Several regional and citizens organizations in the Penokee Mountains Heritage Park area are teaming up to provide a broad educational summit on treaty rights, clean water, air, and eatable resources near a region slated to become one of the world's largest open-pit mines. All 11 Wisconsin tribes and numerous Great Lakes organizations and local residents oppose the mine project just south of the Bad River Reservation. Because of the proposed project, the Lakudere tribe is helping co-sponsor the 2-day education summit on September 20th and 21st with subjects on tribal and natural resources, alternative jobs and self-sustainability, history of treaty rights, and the post-treaty allotments in the region that were stolen by mining companies. The closing event will be a huge potluck harvest feast of local products and a powwow on Saturday, September 21st at White Cap Mountain Resort, free and open to the public. And for more information, you can go online at Penokee Hills Education Summit.wordpress.com. And that's going to be another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. I want to tell you thank you and come back again soon.